Okay, welcome again, Erica, since
Hello.
the computer destroyed the first one.
You know what? We get a chance to rehearse this. That's lovely.
Yeah,
My name's
we.
Erica, and I am the singer and bass player for Sanhedrin. And I am thrilled to be with you today.
Definitely my pleasure, and I'm sure many people watching this episode are super excited as well. So, yes, singer and bassist of Sanhedrin. Also, you've done work with Amber Asylum, Hammers of Misfortune, Lost Goat, and session work with Unholy Cadaver, Witch Mountain, and Witch Skull. So many things, so
Yeah.
many albums.
We just recorded or tracked a fourth album for Sanhedrin, and was thinking, gosh, I think this is number 17 for me.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
wow, that is so prolific. Whoa.
Yeah. God, there are a couple of them where I'm like, I don't even have a copy of that.
That no, I totally get it though, because there's been like a couple times I've been in like a magazine or something and I don't even own it. Just like what would I do with it anyway?
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Yeah.
I
Well, I mean, for me, I guess I have a little shelf. I have a shelf.
right, right. Yeah. I have like a wall where I
Mhm.
like put some of them, but then I just started putting them in a box and once you have 17 albums, like that's a lot of shelves.
Yeah, they didn't all make it to album. Uh, they, I think three of four of them were probably cassettes, and a number of them were CD only. But nonetheless, the recording process was, let's sit down and track 8 to 10 songs and really fucking put it out there. So it's an effort, and it's something that I really love. But I'll tell you, I have been a live sound person as a profession my whole life. And um, I don't know how studio engineers do it, man. I really don't. It's like the immediacy of live sound,
Mhm.
getting a drum kit to sound decent. I mean, that's sort of maybe a 15-minute experience in
Hmm.
sound check, for a typical club, but in the studio, you're spending 3 to 4 hours just getting drum sounds. And some people spend 3 to 4 days. And then, back in the 80s, people were spending 3 weeks on that shit. And it was just like, how do they do it?
Wow.
Cocaine.
Oh yeah, probably. I have never fiddled around with trying to record drums myself. Just,
There's
that
some
does.
good techniques, actually. There's some great techniques. And the people that we recorded with this past album, Matt Brown, the engineer, showed us a couple of terrific techniques. Like
Tell me.
he put a 57 between the, as you're facing the kit, between the right rack tom
Mhm.
and the kick drum, sort of aimed kind of straight away. And that thing captured the entire fucking kit, first of all.
Hmm.
Like bass, drum, snare, hat, toms. And um yeah, it was just really cool to learn new mic techniques from people. Yeah.
Oh, that's really great. I'm glad that landed in this episode because I want all of the rock goddesses to have really great sounding drums. I think that right now the like drum recording champion is hoaxed. We need to like find out how they did that. Um,
I'll have to go listen to that now. Yeah, for sure. It's
um,
crazy. I mean, I'm kind of I experience a lot of like sonic burnout because of my job. So I am going to write down the name of the band you just said, and I'm going to listen to them because
Yeah, Hoax. They're out of Portland, Oregon. The bassist was on this show. Prilzor. Her name's also April. And not only is she freaking awesome and a cool artist, she also has her own band,
I love it.
Soul Grinder, and yeah, she's just so freaking cool.
Oh, yes.
So
I saw that episode. Yeah.
oh,
Very cool.
you got to see it? Yeah, she's so great. She's like on some sort of massive honeymoon where she's just like going around the world in 80 days. I don't know. But anyway, so okay, back to you though. Okay, so you're from Brooklyn, and actually late in 2023, you did a tour in Texas.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, I wouldn't call it a tour. We did 3 shows in Texas and it was super fun. We had a blast. It was our
amazing.
first time down there. We played with our friends in Temple of Love. Susie Bravo, if you get to check her out, she is a woman that has been doing this for a long time, long like me, long,
Highly
you
skilled
know?
in that case. Okay, the
Yeah, and
wisdom.
she is a great hang, Susie Bravo.
Oh, fun. Oh,
Yeah,
I will be bugging her to get on the show.
you must.
So, yes, but speaking of great pieces of advice about sound, you are a classically trained singer and
Yes.
musician. So, give us some tips because you're a
Okay.
great singer.
Well, I think that the most important thing that I take from classical singing into heavy metal singing is breath support, singing from your diaphragm, singing from your belly. So if you put your hand on your lower belly, and when you breathe into your hand, you can hold that a lot longer than if you are just breathing here.
Cool, great tips. I need
Yeah.
all the singer rock goddesses to get on here and give us tips. Got any bass tips though? Because that's what I need.
Practice, practice, practice.
Of course, yeah,
That's the
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Um, okay, so 2022, you released a record with Sanhedrin, and on that record, well, one of the standout tracks, Scythian Woman, how's the
Scythian women. Scythian, as far as I know, that's how it's pronounced.
And this brings up this idea that you and I say it differently because maybe we don't have a lot of people to talk to about this topic that we're really interested in, which is a part of the magic of metal. Because, like, it's very exciting to find a song by a band you like that's on a topic that you like. It's like sort of very like niche interests, and in metal you can like end up not just falling in love with a band for their sound, but also for a shared love of archaeology, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have had that discussion with a lot of different people because I personally would have become an archaeologist had I not become a stagehand. Um, I love archaeology. When I was a kid, I went to an archaeology camp and like
Oh yeah.
we dug up a Roman bath and stuff. It was awesome.
What?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah. In France, I'm half French and I used to go
Hmm.
to France in the summers and there was this archaeological camp and I used to go and I loved it.
That is so cool. What a fun fact.
Yeah.
So like, okay, so you're on a dig, any dig in the world. Which dig is it?
Well, I think it would have to be something along the Silk Road. I don't know. I'm just fascinated with the, human migration in that direction and back from Asia, just yes, it's fascinating to me.
Oh,
So,
yeah, that sounds so great. I would love to go like dig around in that too. So interesting too. There's like several women I know who are interested in like that little nugget of history. For me, it's like ancient Near East is really interesting for me.
Mm, mhm,
But
mhm.
of course, that's Silk Road. So,
Yeah.
so another great song from that new album, Cold Blue, very much a woman's um, going out song, perhaps a little bit
Oh yeah, let's
fun
go out
toxicity.
and have a lot of fun and end up married for 16 years.
Wow, awfully fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one's a true story. This is about like having a good time. So we love that.
Yeah.
So that's for all the girls that are about to, go out.
Go out, just definitely take your time.
Aha. Mm-hmm. Or
That's
don't. Oh my
that's
God.
my advice. Or don't, yeah, and go for it because it was a great relationship.
You know
Super.
what? I'm taking or don't from this one. But another great track, Heroes End, has some lyrical similarities to Tom Lynn by Fairport Convention, a Sandy Denny
Awesome.
signature folk piece for
Love
people.
me some Sandy Denny. I
Yes.
will write that down. Tom Lynn. Okay.
Yeah.
So, in what sense?
So, in the song Tom Lynn, there is an evil fairy queen, and she threatens Tom Lynn, the sort of protagonist, but definitely just a troublemaker in the song. It's an old folk song, and from the British Isles. I'm sure it's been sung
Love
in
it.
like a zillion iterations, and like maybe could I don't know where exactly it comes from. I'm sure nobody knows exactly where that song's history comes from, but anyway, she's a fairy queen. She's gonna turn Tom Lynn into a tree had she known what this night she would see. And in your song, you
Ooh.
say that you would like to tie this person to a tree. And I gotta say, I constantly talk about tying men to trees. I don't know what it is, but
That one came right out of the Garden of Eden myth. Like I was Eve in that song, in that stanza anyway. I was like, yeah.
ooh, I will have to re-listen to it with that context in mind. Um, yeah, and then I guess like another favorite from the album is also Change Takes Forever. I like that song. Yeah.
Living it,
Yeah, what's the story behind that song?
just that. I mean, I feel like I have been around long enough to sort of see uh a bit of an arc of history, and definitely the idea that for example, like bodily autonomy for women the is on the docket, and we don't know whether we will have the right to have that. Feels like we're going backwards,
Yeah.
I mean, I was born in like the shadow of ERA,
Mm-hmm.
the equal rights
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Initiative.
movement, and so
So crazy.
yeah, but yet I feel like we do have the needle is moving because people are able to consider themselves non-binary, and that's cool. That's a
Yeah.
so
I guess
so you move forward and you move backwards.
I guess the thing to do is like um take a moment to like look at what those women who are working on equal rights during that first swing of the pendulum had done and see what we can learn from their achievements to
Oh,
see what we could
completely.
do
Yeah.
ourselves.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I did learn from Gloria Steinem was you can't make change in a vacuum, you know,
Say
which was
more.
really a valuable piece of information for me because I was in a situation, in a work situation that really felt like I was trying to do that.
Hmm.
I was up against a brick wall, and sometimes when you're up against a brick wall, not struggling and just going somewhere else is the way to go.
Hmm. Okay. I feel like there's like a real golden nugget in there that I want to pull out.
Oh God.
All right. So you
Easy.
yeah, I'm like, how do I get to that gold nugget? I can hear it right there. So it's you're struggling in a work situation and you couldn't create change in a vacuum.
Mhm.
So how did you change things so you weren't in the vacuum and you got the result you wanted?
I was I reflected inward really, and I tried some different new work environments, and I did a lot of soul searching, and I went to a place where there were a lot more people that looked like me and worked with them. And then I realized that what I really wanted to do, and this is like goes back to change takes forever. Um, like I was trying to change something from the inside,
Hmm.
and what I needed to do for myself and for the spirit of changing something was change it from the outside. So I started teaching, and I became an adjunct professor of entertainment technology at CUNY, which is the City University of New York. And so now I'm teaching people what I had been doing all these years and pushing them into the workplace, and making it change happen that way.
Wow, very clever and also interesting to know that you were an adjunct professor.
Yeah.
Um, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had that job before myself and
It's not a great job. I mean,
uh
anybody who's been an adjunct knows that you really get raked over the coals.
yeah, it's a terrible job. I mean, it's very like honorable.
Oh, I mean, I love it, but
Yeah,
most departments in most universities have a few full-time professors and 30 adjuncts, and
yeah,
that's how universities are working right
yeah,
now.
they're like union busting. It's a mess and it's probably one of the worst paying jobs that there are. But
You have to know your shit, and you have to know how, like, I've been lucky enough to teach the same class for 10 years.
Mhm.
So for me, like, after about 2 years, and it's a lab. So, it's an active class where we're like building and doing sound and hanging
Oh,
lights, stuff
neat.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like as an art teacher, everything's a lab. So
Right. Oh, are you an art teacher?
yeah, I taught at Moore College of Art and Design, which is actually my alma mater. So I graduated and then they hired me, which is like
Nice.
not something that usually happens. But and I loved that job. It was an all women's college at the time. And now they are co-ed. Uh but then the pandemic came and a lot of changes came and I stuck it out with them for a while, but ultimately I left and started my own educational programming business and
Oh,
that's what I do now.
cool.
Yeah.
Do you,
Um
are you like a vendor for the Philly DOE or wherever you're from?
I work with a couple different institutions like some of them are just like private things like art galleries, but
Because
that's
I
my
was doing that too, like a teaching artist kind of thing. Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
it's certainly like
You can make your own way doing that.
yeah.
It's an interesting way to make a living for sure.
Yeah, it's got a lot of flexibility. But
Exactly. Yeah.
um but back to you.
Okay.
So when did you first realize that you loved rock music and you wanted to create more of it?
Well, I was indoctrinated very early on. Um, I would say by like 7 or 8, I saw Kiss on a show called Solid Gold, which if any of you know what that is, I would be shocked. Um, but it was a variety show that had like dancers and live music, and dancers would dance to tracks, and it was just really, at the time pretty wild. And Kiss really blew my fucking mind. So I made my parents buy me a black and orange tutu, and I just was a freak ever since.
The black and orange tutu is pure. And the dancers sound super fun. I'm definitely gonna look this up and see how what kind of dance moves people were doing.
Amazing, like choreographed, weird, like, yeah, it was pretty
That
great.
is
Yeah.
that's so fun. Okay, well, if your music were a movie soundtrack, what would the movie be about? And let's make it about Sanhedrin. What would Sanhedrin movie be?
Ooh. I think it would be about the human condition and navigating our, feelings of alienation and looming autocracy.
So dark. Okay,
The
so
German film.
oh, okay. So are we black and white or like what era are we evoking?
Hmm. I think it would probably be like Possession era. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie,
I'm gonna
Possession.
watch it tonight. Um,
Holy shit. Yeah, that one was
one in my notebook.
wild.
You know,
That absurd movie, but yeah, it would be Possession era. Um, and yeah,
cool, cool, cool. I'm excited to check that out. I hope I can dig it out of like YouTube or find it somewhere illegally.
somebody just refurbished it and is throwing it around. Actually, you know what it is? The Metrograph Theater. So you can see it
Hmm.
on metrograph.com. They own the movie.
Oh, oh, thank you
Yeah,
so
this is
much.
a theater in New York, and they own the movie and they stream it on their site.
Okay, cool. Everybody go watch that tonight.
Yeah, my friend brought me to see it a few months ago, and I was like, "Oh my God!" So Possession
Cool.
movie, but
Um,
yeah, wild.
okay, so next question. If you could collect any three vinyl from all of history,
Oh,
would
okay.
you
So
like to
I
pick?
changed this question. Is that okay?
Yeah, answer it any way you want. Doesn't matter.
So my version of this question is desert island.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're on a desert island. Which ones do you bring?
So my desert island records, and I'm only going to bring two. The
Oh,
rest
okay.
I can probably conjure, figure out how to make my, the rest of the genres I can probably just hum. But I would like Ride the Lightning and MC5 Back in the USA. Those would be my two um, desert island.
Wow, wow. Interesting switch. Okay. So Ride the Lightning. Is there any reason why Ride the Lightning?
Because it has a nice variety of songs and it's really aggressive. And I feel like if I need to survive,
Hmm.
I would want to listen to that sort of level of aggression.
Yeah, yeah, like you can't
And
bring like Linda Ronstadt or something.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. If I'm like trying to kill stuff and eat it,
Very, very good
definitely.
like rationale behind that. Yeah. Okay. If you could play a world tour with any three bands alive today, who would you choose? And is there any particular city you'd like to play?
Well, I would definitely like to play Tokyo.
Ooh,
And I would love to play with Iron Maiden. So hello, Iron Maiden. Get this.
yoo-hoo. I'm sure they're
Girl School. I would love
Mhm.
to tour with Girl School. That would be really, really awesome.
That seems entirely within your grasp. I feel like you could do that.
Yeah, well, if anybody's listening, hey, Sanhedrin's available. Girl School is actually touring right now, by the way.
Yeah, they're playing Hell's Heroes.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna play New York in a couple of weeks too. But I am going to House Heroes, so I will be seeing them there.
Oh,
So them and who would my third band be? Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I've played with so many awesome bands that I feel pretty satisfied, like the one thing I will say about the moment, you know, right now is that there's so many great underground bands. And you're right, a lot of them um are bands with women in them. So
yeah.
uh I feel having gone out with Savage Master and played with Lady Beast. They played our record release in 2022. You know, yeah, so I'm pretty satisfied, but definitely wouldn't mind Iron Maiden or Girls' School. That
It
would
does
be.
get hard to narrow it down. And yeah, Deb from Lady Beast, organized, passionate, inclusive, just the freaking VIP.
Mm.
Um, so looking back, what's a big decision you made that turned out to be a great choice?
Leaving California and moving back to New York in my early 30s. That was a hard choice because when I was in California, I was in two or three bands that were really working, and one or two of them were touring and putting out records on labels and doing stuff. But it was right after 9/11, and my family is here in New
Mm,
York, and I felt like I wanted to be closer to my family. And I'm really glad I did that because, I got to see my mother and my father to their deaths and um, spend quality time with them. And I got to have some great band experiences here. Um, yeah, so I'm glad.
yeah, that's a really important thing. Um, it does come up once you're in your 30s and your parents start getting older.
Oh yeah.
It's a real
Oh,
thing.
it's
Um,
it was for me, big time.
yeah.
But I had
Uh,
been gone for 15 years. I left when I was 17.
oh
So
my gosh, you wild child. Let's have
yeah.
that story. Spit it out.
Well,
17 and
it's
you
not
moved.
that exciting. I mean, I went to attempt to go to college. I didn't end up staying in college, but that was why I left. And I left because it was like, I wanted to get as far away from my family as possible. But then over the years, things just sort of shifted and that sentiment changed. And I was like, actually, I'd like to be really close to you guys,
Yeah, all part of growing. I think it's totally normal to want to like
Yeah, totally.
strike out, try different stuff. It's part of testing
Yeah, I mean,
yourself.
I don't have kids, but everybody that I know that has kids, like, they're gonna not totally be on your side for a while in the teenage years, or it might feel that way, but it will always come around,
Hmm.
you know?
Giving people hope right now, I'm sure. So, yeah, and a couple of rock goddesses have said that like the big moves, the big location changes have been the the answer to that question.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to, pick up everything and leave your friends, leave your bands. I was moving to New York, so it was like a big city with a lot of stuff to do. But had I been from Lawrence, Kansas, it might have felt different
Mhm.
leaving the Bay Area and going back. But right now I will say this in the whole like, I've seen the arc of history vibe that I'm throwing over here. Uh big cities are sort of out. and mid-sized cities are in, as
Hmm.
far as I'm concerned, because big cities are unlivable.
Mhm.
Only really wealthy people can afford to live comfortably without having to work your fucking ass off.
Yeah, totally. Everybody I know that lives in New York has like so many jobs. I don't know how they stay alive. But
I
they
can't be an artist in this town, you
they
know?
yeah, I mean like they do it though. So
Yeah,
they know what they're doing, but I have a lot of friends that left Seattle after the pandemic and moved to like Tacoma. Some went to Portland and kind of cleared out. A lot of the musicians left.
yeah. And I think because is tech is always looking for the place where they don't have to pay taxes, right?
Yep. Yeah, and also like living in Seattle, it's so different from other big cities. I mean, it's like not even like really a big city, except in the Pacific Northwest. It's the only big city, but it's like the only big city. And once you're like out, I mean, you have toured a lot, so you already know. Once you're outside of Seattle, you're nowhere. It's like so it's not like Baltimore, where you've got like DC,
Right,
and you've got
right.
all the beach cities, and you've got Philly, and like, or something like that. Baltimore, cheap place. Let's all move to Baltimore. Beautiful
They,
mansions for sale.
I'll tell seriously,
Mhm.
yeah. Baltimore, I like Pittsburgh because I've made friends with a lot of people there, and I feel like that is the size of city that makes sense to me right now. I'm looking at places like Albany because Albany is not that far from New York
Mhm.
and is a hell of a lot less expensive. So yeah, it's a
Artsy.
thing,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Artsy there too.
Hmm.
How's Asheville? Anybody know? So
Right?
pointed question.
But
Uh,
I'll tell you, none of the people that live in these places want us to go there.
no. They're like, listen, you metal maidens, keep your
Stay there.
chaos in your
Yeah.
cities. Um, really? They don't want us?
No, no. When I say us, I mean people looking for less expensive places to build their lives,
Yeah, yeah,
I, and also when I say us, I'm really talking more, not really about us, like you and me,
yeah.
but I'm talking about the people that end up really inflating real estate prices.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
So, that won't be a problem. But so anyway, yes, yes. And what is a performance memory you will never forget?
I will never forget playing Hell Over Hamburg the first time because it was my first time playing a show in Europe. Oh, no, no, it wasn't the first show, but it was one of the first shows I'd ever played in Europe. And it was a large crowd. I mean, like over 1,000 people. And I had never played to that many people before. And they were singing words to my songs and I was like, holy shit, you know?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Aw, I love
Yeah.
that. There's been a couple other rock goddesses who have said, the first time that you see the audience know your music and like love it enough to sing along. And so
It's
yeah,
pretty.
so everybody listening, make sure you like refresh yourself on the lyrics before you go to the shows.
Yeah, we love seeing that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love it.
Um, and so what is your favorite piece of gear or stageware that you own?
My favorite piece of gear is right over here, actually. I'm going to show you. It's my white Helix
Mm.
here. And this was a gift from a lot of people. So my drummer, Nate, put together just sort of like a crowd-funded gift for me for my 50th birthday. and it was this, and I am very much in love with this
Oh.
instrument.
Have you
My
named it?
No, I haven't.
Name it now.
Okay, Whitey. I don't know. That sounds fucked up. But anyway, I don't know what I would name it. Blondie, maybe?
Blondie. We could do Blondie.
Blondie.
You can do whatever you want. Don't listen to me. But
But at any rate, the sort of nostalgia of having it gifted to me from about 12 of my favorite human beings, who put money together. And then also just the quality of the instrument, because I had gotten a P bass to tour with a couple of years prior, because my main instrument is something so old that I would not want to take it out of. It's a recording instrument. It's
oh,
not
okay. Yeah.
something for touring. If it got stolen out of the van, I could never replace it. It's just one of those things. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, uh, so I got this Mexican P bass, no shade to Mexico, but the set screws on the bridge were so poorly machined that they were backing out as I was playing it, and the action was just changing as I was playing the
Oh
bass.
wow.
So I ended up having to put Loctite in the set screws. I still
Oh,
use it, but I had to fucking put Loctite in something that is supposed to be adjustable.
wow.
So yeah, it was just, at any rate,
I mean, is it
same
working?
instrument, same exact design, except different factory, different parts. So this is an American P bass, Merca. It's from Merca, and it's American. And and yeah, and it fucking holds tune great. The sustain is killer. That was one of the things that I loved about the old P bass that I have, is the sustain on that instrument is just fucking awesome. And this thing, yeah. So this is my favorite
Oh,
thing.
the Blondie from Merca.
Yeah. On from Merca.
That's good. Everybody loves a Merca blonde.
Yeah, oh,
So,
totally. Don't they?
um, okay. Do you have any new announcements for us? You said you just tracked the fourth
Oh
album.
yeah, yeah. Got some stuff on the slate here.
Okay.
So we are in the middle of recording album 4. Coming out on Metal Blade Records sometime in the future.
Yahoo!
And that has been a really awesome experience, because the studio we went to, we kind of leveled up a little bit.
Ooh.
And I think that for us as musicians and also as technicians, it was just a really great, because all three of us are like recording or audio people. So,
Well, it sounds very exciting. What kind of themes might we anticipate since I enjoyed the themes from the last album so much?
well, I would say people navigating alienation and autocracy is going to be a big one.
Hmm.
Um, Fuck Christo fascists is going to be a
Okay.
big one. Yeah, you know what? I will lose the democracy, the not democracy, the
Diplomacy?
diplomacy wars over here. Like, do you know?
Keep it real, okay? Yeah, diplomacy, it's got a place. It can be a very effective thing for certain circumstances and
I
other times, you know?
I remember doing an interview over last summer, and it was the three of us, and he asked something about religion, and I just said something ridiculous like fuck Jesus, as if like whatever, like Jesus
Mhm.
didn't do anything. And ostensibly it was fairly cool guy, supposedly, right?
Mhm.
And I could just hear my guitar player ex-Catholic eyes rolled while I was sitting next to him. I was like, yeah, you know what? Stuff like that, it's kind of off-putting, but whatever. Here we are in 2024, where you feel weird about saying stuff like that. Anyway, so I want to tell you more stuff though
Tell me.
about announcements. We are going to be playing Blades of Steel this coming summer in Madison, Wisconsin, and we're doing a run with Lady Beast around that. So that'll be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then we've got some pretty cool shows lined up for later in the year with Sirith Ungol,
Hmm.
and they're sort of stopping touring, so that's going to be kind of fun to spend some of their last live moments with them. We've played with them a few times and they're really cool. Yeah, and oh, also Cruz del Sur's
Right, right. Crystal Sir.
yeah, Cruz del Sur's CEO, or whatever you call it, the guy, the man behind
The
the
dad.
label sent me this. Thank you, Enrico.
Present.
And I just want
Tidings for the
to
goddess.
introduce you all to this band from Sydney, Australia. They fucking rule. We met them playing a festival in Germany. And the singer is somebody who I
Ooh.
really think you should interview for Rock Goddesses.
I shall be reaching out.
Yeah. So that's her. She goes by Screaming Laws Such, and she is a real opera singer, and she also does all her own costuming, which is really wild. And so they became friends of ours, and Mike Foxhall, one of the guitar players, animated our Scythian Women video, which you can see on Metal Blade YouTube or Sanhedrin YouTube. Definitely look at it on the Sanhedrin YouTube. And he also made this gorgeous graphic novel that comes with the record. So yeah, I'm plugging Neptune Power Federation over here.
Good. I love to see that. That's the sorority that we are aiming for.
Yeah,
Um, yes. Forge the chains. And the band sounds super cool. I'm excited to check out so much stuff now, movies and bands and all kinds of stuff.
absolutely, guys. Do
What's
it.
the name of this guy from Cruz del Sur? Because he's allowed to live.
Joe Lucchese, and he is a lovely man who is really just doing it. It's a labor of love for this guy.
Got crossed hearts, I think.
Look,
Does he have crossed
I'm not sure. I know he has Tower,
tower? Tower.
and he has, as far as who you solicitor,
Aha. Okay.
and gosh,
I'm
I'm
sure
drawing
there's
a blank here, but
uh,
definitely Tower and solicitor Smolder.
aha. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna let this guy live above ground.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, this guy gets to breathe, eat, and enjoy life.
Yeah,
So
you may live. All right, so all the other men may take an example from Mr. Cruz del Sur.
Enrico Lucchese is a good guy. Let me tell you how good Enrico is.
Let's
We
hear about
were
Enrico.
we were at this festival last year, and it was in bumfuck Germany. And at the end of the night, we could not find a ride to our farmhouse about 15, 20 miles away. So Enrico got some of his friends who he drove to the festival from Italy with to drive us home. That was how much Enrico um, it cares about his bands.
Wow. Aw.
Yeah,
Damn.
but not to say that Metal Blade doesn't care about their bands
Metal
because they
Blade is
do
pretty
very, very
good
good.
about signing girls, right? Like I think
Yeah,
a couple bands. Napalm
yeah.
Records and Metal Blade have a couple.
I mean, there's Capra and Tanith,
Hmm.
and I'm trying to think of other. bands with women on them, and there's a few, yeah, for sure.
So it sounds like they could catch up to Crucial Sir.
As far as the ratio, probably,
Oh
but you
yeah.
know, definitely they're also, you know, it's a genre thing too, I think, because I don't know. Oh, Ethnos. Do you know them?
I don't.
Ethnos or and I'm probably saying it wrong, but yeah. Um, they are doing a lot of metal and metalcore with really like hardcore
Oh, the growlers.
yeah, super growly.
Okay.
Um, and I don't know that many women that do that, to be honest. And maybe now that I just said that, I'm gonna totally get a million like comments like I do it, I
Hey,
do it.
but you
But
know what? That's good. Like we
yeah,
want to
I
evoke
want to
that shared knowledge from each other. So that's great. When we don't know something and somebody can help out their gals.
absolutely.
So we're gonna play our game.
Okay, cool.
Oh wait, one more question. Where can we listen to your music and how can we follow what you do?
Well, I think the best way would be to follow us on Instagram, Sanhedrin underscore official. There are a few other Sanhedrins folks. Like we end up getting tagged for this band in England
Mhm.
that is a death metal band who are pretty cool. And they ended up coming to one of our shows when we played them, and it was funny. And they were
Yeah,
like, you know, they yeah. But anyway, so definitely Instagram, YouTube, we have a channel. So like that, subscribe to that. Spotify, Apple Music, I mean, all the usuals, you know, but also really like the Bandcamp pages of Cruz del Sur and Metal Blade Records. And yeah, that would be the way to do it.
perfect,
For
perfect. And then of course go to a show. So
yeah, go to a show, people.
all right, all right. So which one, Susie Quattro or Tina Turner?
Ooh, Tina Turner.
And why?
I'm saying that as a bass player, but
Yeah, I know, because like, yeah, but you are similar to Susie Quattro in that you have mastered that um very admirable um technique of being able to sing well while you play the bass well.
yeah, yeah. But my heart is with Tina always.
And why?
Her. She's the best.
She is the best. Simply the best.
Better than all the
All
rest.
right, all right. Having karaoke now.
Uh-oh, uh-oh, what we got here?
Joan
Joan
Jett or Janis
Hart.
Joplin?
Oh, Janice.
It's gonna be Janis. Janis and Tina.
Yeah. Janice, because you know what? Janice does not get enough play right now, as far as I'm concerned.
We all these growlers need to take another look at Lady Janice. Think about the blues when they're doing
If I were ever to do a tribute band, I would think that that would be a really fun tribute band.
that would be so so cool and so fun to see a Janice tribute band. Man, and
Okay,
all the
right?
girls Janice
Uh-huh,
tribute band.
uh-huh,
Imagine the stage wear.
uh-huh.
Fleetwood
Ah,
Mac or Girl School?
girls' school.
All right. Why Girl School?
Because Fleetwood Mac was just doing too much coke. And school will fucking beat them up in an alley in a second. So
Yeah, that's probably true. If it was like an entire band of Stevie Nicks, like they might have a chance, but
maybe, but yeah, I don't know. Attitude is important to me, and I feel like the attitude embodied by the girls' school ladies is pretty. I
you know,
can't wait to see them, by the way.
I'm gonna put you in touch with Janice from Mean Mistreater. I think that you guys are gonna get along.
Oh, hell yeah. I love her band. Mean
Uh-huh.
Mistreater. Fucking kid.
Okay. So Betty Davis or Grace Slick?
Betty Davis.
Okay. Why
I mean,
Betty?
talk about a growler.
Yeah, yeah. I think I just had my mind blown because I don't listen to bands with growlers, whether they're male or female. I'm just not like into that sound.
Mhm.
But I do like Janis Joplin and Betty Davis. So maybe it's just that I like growlers when they have a blues influence.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
Because
Have you ever heard the Pansori version of Korean opera?
no.
I think I'm butchering the word, but you want talk about growlers.
How do you spell
Whole,
it?
oh
Oh,
God,
sorry. Probably a weird tongue.
Nsuri, but I think I'm spelling it wrong. I'm probably killing it.
Okay.
Does anybody know? Anybody out there know
Leave it
what
in the comments,
traditional
people.
Korean opera word name is? At any rate, the vocal style there has, nothing to do with Western music whatsoever. And there is this just level of guttural articulation that is fucking scary. It's so deep.
Oh, neat.
Learn
Hmm.
that at work, being a stagehand.
What did you say?
I said I learned that at work, being a stagehand. Just watching a show. I was like, holy shit, this woman is, wow, whoa.
Okay. There's like some like Central Asian, there's this one particular Central Asian all girl band that I'm like pretty into. They're doing almost more like a, well, I don't know. It's uniquely their own thing. I'll send it to you later on Instagram. I don't know what it's called. Okay, Bonnie Tyler or Marianne Faithfull.
Oh, that is a hard one, girl. Fuck. I gotta say Marianne.
You really do love the growlers.
Yeah.
Do
I
they
gotta
call?
say Marianne because well, and also because like these are like I've worked with Marianne Faithfull. I've done monitors for her before, and I've really appreciated like the way that it's not about like a perfect voice at all. It's about the performance of the song, you know?
Wow. Oh my God. Can I get like a Marianne Faithfull song? I love her song. I mean, like moment, memory.
Oh
Give it.
God, I can't think of one offhand. But she did a bunch of Kurt Vile, and it was so fucking good, So yeah.
All right. Well, cool. Marianne Faithfull, Betty Davis, Girls School, Janice, and Tina. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate, I think.
I love that. I love that. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and
Yeah.
inspiring more girls and giving us tips and everything.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And thank you for, highlighting what we do.
And there's just, all these talented ladies I want to talk to. Enriches my life.
Get it
Okay.
out there.
Bye, dear.
This is bye bye.